Hi, my name is Chandra Delano, and I am currently a freshman at the University of Southern California. I graduated from East Windsor High School in 2021, and my major is in psychology, and I was currently on the pre-med track, but now I'm switching to picking up a minor in business or marketing. And the classes I'm taking right now is cognitive psychology, statistics, theatrical film symposium, where we watch unreleased movies and then interview famous directors and editors and writers, which is really cool. And then a general education requirement, which is migration law and society.
Hello, my name is Cooper. I graduated from East Windsor High School in 2021. I am currently attending Universal Technical Institute in Exton, PA. I graduate 2023, early 2023, I believe. Currently, I am in automotive and diesel courses. My current course is automotive undercar, and I can get into more how that works a little later.
Hi, my name is Nicole Grzetsky. I graduated from East Windsor High School in 2020. I attend Keene State College in Keene, New Hampshire. I am currently a sophomore who is double majoring in elementary education and theater and dance with a concentration in dance choreography and performance.
Hey guys, my name's Alyssa Seponari. I graduated from East Windsor High School in 2020. I attended Manchester Community College for 3 semesters, and I just transferred to the University of North Carolina, Wilmington this semester as a sophomore. I'm currently majoring in finance, and I just declared a minor in math as well. Right now I'm taking 8 courses. Most of them are 1 or 2 credits, that's why I'm taking so many, but they're mostly gen eds with a couple, maybe 2 or 3 business courses that I'm taking. So for example, I have an art class that I'm taking, PE, a science lab, and as far as business courses, I'm taking an accounting lab as well as a business statistics course.
Hello, I'm Devin Lawler, and I graduated from East Windsor High School in 2019. During junior year, I had no idea what I wanted to do after graduation. I signed up with a recruiter. After graduation, I left for basic training for the United States Air Force.
Hello, my name is Tim Rodrigue. I am a senior at the University of Connecticut, and I graduated East Windsor High School in 2018. Right now, I'm majoring in chemical engineering, and I'm minoring in molecular cell and biology. And I am taking senior design, process control and dynamics, anatomy and physiology, senior chemical engineering lab, and biochemical engineering.
Which is how I expected it to be. You have a lot more freedom than you do in high school or middle school, so you're really on your own for a lot of it, and this is a good opportunity for you to grow as a leader and as an individual. The best part for me is making connections around campus and getting to try new things that I haven't tried before and making new friends and new connections. The most challenging part for me was adjusting to being away from my family. Not being able to see my family every day was challenging at first, but once I made those connections around campus, campus became another home for me. On a typical day, I'll have classes and work. I work on campus. I have a couple jobs, which is really fun, and then at night I'll normally go out with some friends or I will do homework.
The best part about the Air Force is traveling. I like seeing new things I haven't seen before. I like visiting new places, countries. This past September, I was picked up for a deployment to go to IUD, Qatar, to help out with the evacuation of the Afghan refugees.
So is school what I expected it to be? Honestly, no. I thought I'd have 4 or 5 classes every day, and in reality, we have 1 class for 3 weeks straight, and after those 3 weeks, you take your final, then you're on to your next class, which is pretty fast-paced, but they make it really easy to stay on top of everything. They have a schedule that has your first week on top, your second week underneath, and your third week on the very bottom. And this is everything you need to know, everything that you're doing in class that day, when all your tests are, and everything you have to do in the lab, and then everything you have to do for homework. It's all on that paper, so it's very well planned out. The best part of school here, honestly, I'd say is not what you learn in school. I'd say is probably what you learn from all your teachers. on like a separate basis and what you get from everybody else that you meet here. Like for example, I have 3 roommates, and one of them is an on-site guy and one of them is a diesel guy. And they both had experience for the past couple of years of their life, and they know some things that I don't, and I know some things that they don't. And whenever we have dinner, we usually get into different conversations about different things. So it's good to have that real world experience, from their point of view as to what works and what doesn't work. Which personally I do think is the best part, because the teachers, they'll do the same thing. If you have any questions for them about anything that's more real world.
Okay, so the thing that I found most helpful from my time at East Windsor was the small classes and the fact that I really got to connect with my teachers, which was really helpful because I was able to, have feedback along the way and just like maintain those relationships and get, a lot of opportunities from them. And that can be really hard in, a big university such as USC, because the classes can have 200, 300 kids. So it's really hard to connect with your professors. And a course that I found extremely helpful, like you have to take it, is the AP English / UConn writing class taught by Ms. Katula. Take that class. It made me such a better writer, and it definitely helped me with college, and because I'm writing papers all the time, so it definitely helped me in that aspect. And Ms. Katula is a great teacher.
Participation and attendance are not really required by college professors. My class size ranged from discussions in labs that were about 15 students to lectures that had over 300. But by my junior year, I was in more major specific classes where I only had about 50 students consistently. There may be more work in college compared to high school, but as long as you manage your time and dedicate actual effort to your assignments, it won't be too bad. Grading is about what you would expect, but I definitely recommend printing out each syllabus for your class, just to keep track of deadlines and see how your professor might weigh different assignments.
At MCC, I used Blackboard, but right now at Wilmington, I'm using Canvas. It was a little struggle at first learning Canvas because I've never used it before, but it is really easy. I'm not sure if there's any more platforms other than Canvas or Blackboard that I know of, but those are two of the most popular ones that you guys will probably be using, and both are fairly easy, so you will get the hang of that. Class size, so it really depends on the type of class you're in. So for example, I'm in an oceanography lab right now. That's about 12 people. So it is really small, but for my business class that I'm taking, that's about 80 people. So class sizes can change depending on what course you're enrolled in. And as far as workload, I guess it also depends on the class you're in as well and the professor, but I've had a lot of work in some of my classes. For example, my English class that I took at MCC last semester, I had to write a 20-page essay for the final. We had to read multiple books. Sometimes, we would have to read the book in maybe 2 weeks. We had some kind of deadline. Right now, I'm taking an art class, so she assigned a project. We have to go to a museum, find a piece of art that we like, and fill out a bunch of questions for it. But that isn't due until April, and she gave it to us last week. So she's giving that to us about a month in advance. But my professor is not going to, remind you every single class that you have this project to be working on. That is up to you to stay on top of the workload, understand due dates and all that. So just refer to the syllabus, stay on top of all your assignments, and you'll do just fine.
After my deployment, I came back to the States and I volunteered to become an honor guardsman.
Even for me, when I was taking my pre-med courses, and I'm a social science major, I'm still reading all the time, like hundreds and hundreds of pages, and having to, write notes and having to write essays. So it's like you really have to do that, like no matter what, you have a lot of writing every day to do. So that is also why the UConn writing class is so beneficial.
College is about what I expected. The best part is being able to go to so many sporting events on campus, but the most challenging would probably be the increased workload compared to high school and having to time manage so many different classes and deadlines that come up. Each day I usually wake up, go to about 2 to 3 classes per day, and then spend a couple hours doing homework before relaxing for the rest of the night.
So the transferring process can be a bit tedious, but it is worth it in the end. So if that is something you are considering, I would highly recommend that. It is a good way to save a lot of money, especially if you don't know what you want to major in. It's a good way to explore a bunch of different classes and fields just to see what you are interested in. As far as my personal experience with transferring, I knew I was going to attend Wilmington at some point after graduating high school. So each semester when I was building my schedule at MCC, I made sure to reach out to the transfer equivalency lady at UNCW. I was just emailing her each semester, sending her an email saying, hey, I plan on taking these courses at MCC. Would you double check just to make sure that these courses would transfer? That's important to stay on top of if you are planning on transferring, just because you don't want to take courses that won't help you towards your major or minor.
For the next 5 months, I will be providing military honors for the fallen veterans of the United States military. I will be conducting retirement ceremonies, awards.
I found the best way to adjust to college would be to join a club. I joined a club within my major as well as joining a club sports team. This allowed me to play a sport which I love and make friends outside and within my major. Being involved is a great way to relieve stress and find people with similar interests. Having a roommate might be difficult, but I recommend joining Facebook groups for freshmen or talking to people during your orientation. That's what worked for me.
At East Windsor High School, Miss Catula's AP class, that translates to English 1010 writing class at UConn, was one of the biggest helps. I have used so much information I have learned from that class at school. It has helped me with all of my papers and stuff like that. So I definitely recommend taking that course if you get the opportunity. Additionally, reaching out to Miss Whalen or Miss Walker at East Windsor and being like, hey, I want to apply for some scholarships, and then actually going through and applying for those, because at the end of the day, college is really expensive. So any money you can save on scholarships is a huge help. It doesn't matter if you're applying for a big scholarship or a small scholarship, the dollar amount does not matter, because in the end it all adds up and everything helps. If I could do something differently at East Windsor, I would say I would vary my classes more freshman year. I didn't start experimenting with different classes till junior and senior year, but when I did, I found a new love for all different things, and that translated into college. So definitely put yourself out there freshman year or sophomore year. Try an art class, even if you're not artistic, or take a class with Mr. Kaplan. You never know what you're going to like, and I really encourage you to try new things, because that's where I found a lot of my passions, and that has translated over here.
The most helpful courses were the AP courses that I took during high school, probably because they prepared me for the amount of work and the difficulty of work that I saw in my first year of college. But I wouldn't do over anything differently from my high school days, but I would definitely recommend getting involved in school right now.
I'm going to have to say that the best part about college is being on your own, and for some people this might be a challenge, which is okay. But for me personally, I am super independent. I like to be on my own. In high school, you'll have your mom to wake you up or something if you sleep in. But here, when you're in college, you really do have to hold yourself accountable professors do not care if you go to class or not, so that attendance is something you're going to have to stay on top of. But yeah, I like to be on my own, so I would have to say that's the best part. As far as the most challenging part, I would have to say, since I am a full-time student and a part-time worker, just trying to find a balance between social life, school life, and work life can be a bit challenging, but after a couple weeks, you'll like form a routine and you'll get the hang of how everything works, time management, all that good stuff.
So the most helpful class in high school for me, honestly, was probably taking the shop classes. Just because I got to put a lot of my ideas and a lot of my thoughts into action and see if they'd work or fail. And sometimes they did fail, which is a great learning experience, because I knew that if I ever did try to do that in that way ever again, it probably wouldn't work. So I did get to see a lot of that happen, and I got to learn a lot of things from that class that I would have never known if I didn't take that class. Which is the one thing I would do differently, is I'd go back and start them the first day that I got into high school. I'd probably start those shop classes my freshman year as soon as I could. If I could do it differently, that's what I would do. I started them my sophomore year, and I did learn a lot, but that one extra year probably could have made a big difference. Maybe could have made a small one. I'll never know. But that's the one thing I'd probably do different, is just go back and take it sooner than later, which leads to my advice. If you got an idea of what you want to do, start now. I definitely wouldn't wait another day. If you want to be a science major, start going for it. There's no better day than today, honestly.
The best part of East Windsor High School were the teachers. They were really positive, and I can just be me around them. One thing that I would do differently is, I'd say, definitely take my time with everything. Don't rush into everything, because time flies by, especially in high school. Senior year just blew by me, and I wish I can go back and just slow it down and just relive every moment that I can. So my best advice for the new students and the students that can't wait to get out of school, just take your time, because in a few years you're going to be missing what you missed.
Adjusting to college can be a little difficult at first, so it's important to balance out the things you have to do with the things you want to do. For example, I balance out like my classes with participating in on-campus activities and going out with friends and stuff like that. Clubs and activities that are around campus, there's so many, and if there's like not a club that interests you, make one. There are people making new clubs all the time. They have all different things, from dance team to art club to crew to jiu-jitsu. There's so many different clubs to participate in. As far as activities go, there's always something to do on campus, like at night or during the weekends. They do bingo and trivia where you can win like $25 gift cards. They do finals bingo at the end of every semester, where if you win, you get like a flat screen TV or AirPods. So those are really cool things to attend. Sometimes they'll have like crazy things out on the student center lawn. Like they'll have a bounce house or one of those like large blow up slides. Human version of Hungry Hungry Hippos was there a couple weeks ago, which was so much fun. And so being able to like take a break and step away from like classes and stuff was really exciting, just to like have those fun opportunities and be a kid again. So that's fun. And then time management is also really important. As someone who is a student worker and attends classes and is involved on campus, I struggled to manage my time at first, but I bought a planner that is a 24-hour planner, so I'm able to like plan out my schedule. So from this time to this time I'm in class, this time to this time I'm at work, and I really use that, and I put in there when I'm like going to do homework or stuff like that. That way I don't like forget and double book myself. I make sure I have time to do like my assignments, but I also write in there like when I'm going out with friends or stuff like that, so I can manage my time better. Working on campus, there's always so many jobs you could find. I'm an RA in a freshman dorm. I'm also a student worker in the Dean of Students office, and I give tours. So although like giving tours is only 2 hours a week, I balance that out with being an office worker, which is 6 hours a week. And then I use the rest of like my time to be an RA. So there's all sorts of like different jobs for different like time requirements. If you have a super busy schedule, then you can take a job that has like less hours that are required, which is really unique. And then I'm also involved in Phi Sigma Sigma and on-campus sorority.
So I would say my last piece of advice is, the most important thing is, follow your dreams. Don't be afraid of going far away. Don't be afraid of, changing your whole life around. This is the time. This is the time to find who you are and who you're gonna be, and exploring what you want to do, and don't let anything or anyone hold you back.